Every time you say that, Harry, they throw things. You need to stop over. Oh no! Michael Bull. Plummett's not alone here. Oh no, Plummet.
Desire here needs to watch out.
Oh, big days. Oh, big days. There is no. Hello and welcome to our coverage of the Halo 5 Pro Series. It's the penultimate weekend, Harry, and we're in for some madness today.
Yeah, we are. It's good to be back. I missed the last couple of weeks, so looking forward to seeing more European Halo action. Obviously, house hunting gets a bit tricky, gets a bit frantic here and there, but I've made time for my boys. Europa Halo, of course, producer Spilly in the back, and you, Richie, here as well. So, should be a good one. We have the season finale next week, right? So, a lot to play for here today.
Yeah, no doubt we'll probably see you casting from under a bridge at some point, like I mentioned last week. But today we've got Question Reality up against Mockit. Question Reality just made it through, team receding in the last game, which went to a game 5. We were tuning in, watching Catchy pull off some wonderful snipes. Harry, what way do you see this one going?
It's a tricky one. It really is a tricky one because from weeks previous, Mockit have switched some players around. Warlord's off playing in other teams this week. I've noticed he was teaming alongside Speed, who I think failed to make it into the top 8. If I'm correct in saying, they lost out to Cartel in their round of 16 match. So no Warlord for me. It's a bit weird to see Mockit without Warlord. For me, he is Mr. Mockit. But you have Precision Knight, you have Batchford, Looney, Squashy. So much firepower on this squad against a Question Reality team which has just gone to a game 5, as you previously mentioned. We got the pleasure of watching that. They actually came back from 2-1 down in that series to win the final 2, and obviously that game 5 Slayer went 50-47 in their way. Really good game 5 as well. If you didn't get to catch it, it was really toe-to-toe, neck-and-neck stuff, but the teamwork of Question Reality pulled them through. They're going to need a bit of a bigger performance here, though, against Mockit if they want to try and make it into our semi-finals and maybe try and steal some prize money away from other competitors here in the Pro Series Open. Yeah,
if you're looking to maybe listen to some comms on the side of the guys over on Question Reality, that will be twitch.tv/Catchy. So if you're looking to catch the action, head over to Catchy if you want that side of things. But we've got now, this is the first time Mockit have had the same roster from the previous week heading into this week. They've kept on board with Precision Knight. They've had Zoe come in at one point, like you touched upon. They had Warlord. This time they've kept with Precision Knight. Do you feel like they have the ingredients they need to get past this team and maybe make it further in the competition?
I think it's strange for me because again, I'm so used to seeing Mockit with Warlord on this team. And I would have to speak to Batch and see, what their thought process is. Obviously, Precision Knight's such a strong player. He's starred in Europa Halo tournaments before. We've, noted him as a player that come Infinite time can really break out alongside the guys on Cartel and other stars sort of dotted around teams in Europe. I wonder whether or not it is just one of those acquisitions where Precision Knight is there on the table without a team and Mockit saying, look, this isn't working. We've kind of stagnated in weeks previous. Let's add a bit more firepower to this roster. And if that's the case and they can come through with a resounding victory this week, we could maybe see Precision Knight here to stay. And I mean, again, without speaking to them, it would lead me to believe that's their thought process because of Warlord. It's not like Warlord's not available. He's here in other teams trying to compete for that final top 8 spot, which obviously, as I previously mentioned, they were unable to do so. I'm excited to see this Mockit roster. We're about to head into game 1, Richie. It's a strong start for them would do them wonders, but I think Mockit probably with this lineup they have are looking past this round and looking to the semi-finals and hopefully to do some damage going on to the grand finals.
Yeah, Precision Knight obviously did fill in on the Cartel roster. They made it to the finals. The only week that Cartel actually didn't win the competition against Power, of course. And he's also filled in. He's played with Speed and that sort of thing on a roster I believe they call Final Form with Speed, Sparky and stuff, who actually toppled down Power as well. So he's definitely has the caliber and the talent to make it far come Halo 5, definitely come Halo Infinite as well. But we're going to jump into Strongholds on Plaza as our game number 1. It's going to be tasty. Let's see what way it goes, folks.
Tricky to say which way this one's going to go. It's a really nice game one. I've said this previously, in weeks previous, where Strongholds game one really sets the tone for the rest of the series. Whoever can come out on top, as we've watched Squashy just lose 2 of his teammates and drop down away from the camouflage. Whoever can grab a hold of this first game in a series can really help them, push on in the series and really set the tone. As I said before, Precision Knight picking up a kill, bottom middle as well. Total control for Question Reality early on. This is probably something we didn't expect to happen, Richie, and luckily for Looney and Precision Knight, they're able to capture some strongholds and they should get their first point on the board. But a really nice start from Question Reality there.
Yeah, they've come off of that game 5. They're fit, they're firing, they're feeling themselves. And much can be said of the start for Precision Knight and Kyo over on Mockit. Maybe a misplay. You said you want to get out on top. They dropped 2 members and Squashy drops down low. And of course, they lose the early process of the game. And much to be said as well, like you said about strongholds on Plaza being an indication of, it can be an indication of things like your teamwork. Your gun skill as well can be matched with that. But your teamwork early doors needs to be on point. You can see which roster is performing well at the start and in the series and which team will need to come back. And at the moment, it's 50-50.
One of the biggest indicators, one of those factors that you mentioned is decision making, and something we're seeing really, really nicely out of Mockit here is the decision when to push, when to collapse, and when to maybe take the foot off the gas. You can see Precision Knight here just needs to hold this angle with the shotgun. Could get 2 in a row here if he can finish off Catchy, but just the 1 kill will do because he's got a teammate up there on the ledge as well. Off-screen Crossman is able to convert a double, almost a triple here, but Looney is coming in to just keep this frantic. This is what you want. Make the other team commit so many resources into retaking the yard that it might leave the door open a crack for your teammates to come in. Catch you though with a nice little defense on the yard. But again, this pressure continues to come in off screen. Precision Knight has just helped Batchford kill someone else in the yard. So now Question Reality know that yard is off limits. They're going to try and push somewhere else. But look at this awareness from Precision Knight. He knows they've given up on the yard and is going to try and put some pressure on early. But great shots out of Lundy will put him to peace.
Incredible plays out of Mockit, making Question Reality just fight for every yard. And despite the fact that they're all the while they're losing points, trying to fight for that yard, just trying to keep it in their control. And Mockit having 2 bases on the other side of the map for free. And because of that, they're going to keep on scoring points, just keep on frustrating Question Reality. And now Batchford has it all to do. Down bottom middle, Crossman just trying to fight in that yard, but they have started to score some points now. They're ticking up ever so slightly, but the early scoring did go to Mockit and they're looking good right now.
Wow, a minute ago Camouflage came up. I'm not sure if we caught it on screen, but Looney was the man to grab it. He was put out to pasture fairly shortly after grabbing it. Lundy hit just to try and get some pressure on the board, because you can see Squashy's taking down Catchy in the kill feed. Batchford gets a kill as well, and as a result, Mockit know that with the numbers they can push the bottom middle, and Squashy has his sights here on a triple cap. They need to be very wary though of the player top tower. That was Crossman. He's taken down by Squashy. And that should be a triple cap, which forces now Question Reality to start moving back towards the yard, retreating away from the inside of the map, which is important, Richie, because if Mockit can keep them fighting over here at the yard, in around 30 seconds time that camouflage is coming up. We're going to be in a prime position to grab that away from Question Reality and maybe convert that into more kills and therefore more points.
2 kills for Question Reality as they immediately drop down bottom middle and look to try and get the scoring. Nest for a moment was starting to get converted by Crossman, but he's thought otherwise and will maybe trying to help his teammates bottom middle. He sees Looney Dogs down towards that garbage truck, takes him down. That's a double kill for him and they will now start scoring. The problem I see at the moment is that when Mockit get control, they are in serious control, and only when you see Question Reality get control, they're not fully there. It's just they still have some pieces to fall into place, and every time they try and maybe get them and make those pieces connect, they're taken down by Mockit and they start again. So at the moment, the control does seem to be for Mockit, but here we have Question Reality scoring points. Crossman in the yard, getting some points. Gets taken down by Precision Knight, loses that gunfight, and you don't want to see that.
Well, you don't want to see that, but it was a good flank from Crossman, because although he didn't clean up Batchford early on in the play, Batchford then had to force himself onto top middle, burn the camouflage, which, considering Batchford was no shields, probably a good play from him as well. Squashy has been a standout for me, just seeing his work in the kill feed. Another impact double kill from him is going to force a lot of players into bottom middle. That's going to put a triple cap in the favour of Mockit, which means 2 points every 4 or so seconds for them. And it's going to be tricky now for Question Reality as they do capture the yard early to try and push out of this ever flanking gameplay from Mockit. It's been a really precise push and collapse onto the yard. They're keeping one over at Nest as well. That's so important to block those spawns, and Precision Knight knows his position in this kind of area. Once your team go down, just back up and get them some nice truck spawns in case Question Reality feel like pushing bottom middle. But all in all, Mockit very organised so far. Been impressed with what I've seen out of them.
Yeah, it was important that Question Reality got that yard in their control before Mockit could rotate and really make a gunfight out of it. But now we're seeing bottom middle being just a cocktail of madness as gunshots go down. Precision Knight gets a clean up there. Batchford gets a melee as well. This should be in their control, but Lundy gets a double kill as well. But Looney takes him down. Some good plays out of Looney, just making the most of that bad situation.
Yeah, bottom middle here should go in Question Reality's favour, and again it's well actually being contested straight away from Batchford, and Beatley is able to make Batchford essentially useless in that situation because he's contesting the entire time. It was Batchford who burned their last camouflage, so if you Question Reality, you're hoping for maybe a clean wipe of Mockit here so you can grab the camouflage free of charge, but Mockit are doing a great job of just trading off kills. Catchy here is last alive momentarily, and all he can hope to do is stay alive. Batchford has grabbed his second camouflage in a row, and this, well, spells surely the end of game one. If Batchford can put this into practice, which he can't. Crossman with a 5 takes him down, and there's life in the old girl yet. 2 down here for Mockit as well. Question Reality can now start to maybe push the pace and capture the yard.
It appeared as though that camouflage was for free, but the tax came in a little bit later, and Batchford got himself 5 as the Mockit squad now transition over towards Nest. They get the points there too, still scoring for Question Reality, but now bottom middle will surely be put into contest. That's 3 people down now, so surely Mockit will take control of bottom middle. There goes Beatley as well, and they're in big trouble now. They need some flawless halo off the respawn here, Harry.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see them all just overextend to the Nest here. There's surely going to be resistance met there, and you know your teammates are going to be spawning yard. Why not you just group up for one last push into bottom middle instead of just overextending out in the open? 99-71. That's going to be game one. Mockit are going to take the lead in this series, and that final decision from Question Reality it just left me questioning their reality, and in the end they lose game one.
Yeah, really, you needed to use that time off the respawn to coordinate some sort of push, go together, make sure you're all on the same page. And at that particular moment in time, they stayed a little bit stagnated. They were half going one way, half going another, and because of that, Mockit cleaned them up. 2 kills went down pretty early off the jump, and at that stage, the writing was on the wall. And we take a look towards the stats. Batchford, Wonderboy, 21, 16 assists, and 13 deaths. Absolutely clinical.
Yeah, it's huge, not only because of those stats you mentioned, Richie, but also 8 strongholds captured. So not only was he getting kills, he was leading the charge with those kills as well. And I think if Precision Knight does end up on this Mockit roster, which no doubt, they would like to have him, I think we're going to see the best come out of Batchford, having another strong Slayer beside him that he can rely on to put some damage down. And Batchford on top of the camouflage as well was the star of game one, and one of the reasons we're seeing Mockit in a lead here going into game two. Question Reality, though, not too far away. I mean, only 30 points here or there in a Strongholds game. That's one misrotation or a couple of camouflages lost, which, we saw Batchford grab a couple of times. So on another day, maybe we see Question Reality win that map, but it's Mockit who get the job done.
Yeah, it was just the micro plays at the worst possible times that went wrong for them, but they definitely put up a game of it. And come Slayer on Truth, that old saying comes true that anybody can win a Slayer, but it appears as though Precision Knight for the moment is taking the shackles off of Batchford so he can dance, and he'll be hoping for a similar return in Slayer on Truth. If he can go double positive here, or we're in for a good game from Batchford. But Slayer Truth is our next game, and then our game 3 will be Oddball Fisher, and let's hope we can get to game 4, which will be Capture the Flag Coliseum. That is probably my favorite game type. But as we head over to Truth rather, Slayer now, we need to see Question Reality bounce back here.
Camouflage, plasma pistol, a couple of things to fight for here on Truth. We saw in the round previous Question Reality win a game 5 Slayer, so they'll be hoping they can continue that Slayer form going into this game 2 here against Mockit. Batchford with the first strike, gets traded off by Lundy. And looking at the camouflage battle, it seems like it's been burned, has it? No, Looney's actually been able to steal that one away. So with a 4-1 lead, camouflage in hand as well for Looney. This is a huge start of the map here for Mockit, and exactly what you'd want. And you now have Looney sneaking around off screen, picking up doubles with the camouflage, has plasma pistol in hand as well. So this really is a dream start here for Mockit. Despite only being up by 4, they have the camouflage on the map. They know where Question Reality are going to be playing from, and just like that, it's a 6-point lead.
As far as starts go, that was not the one you wanted from Question Reality. They lost all 4 members. They didn't even get a burn on the camouflage. And now Looney has himself a killing spree. So 5 of those initial 11 kills coming from the side of Looney, really putting damage down and allowing the teammates to soften up some people as well as he gets the kill. As he puts the EMP, takes the shields down off Lundy, and Batcher gets to clean up there as well. Now contested with Beatley, who finally takes him down, but is it too late?
Well, you need to slam the brakes on here if you are Question Reality. 12-6, you're being doubled by the enemy team. Those types of 1 versus 1 fights, if you can find them from Beatley, are very valuable in terms of chipping away at the score. And we're seeing Mockit here just being manipulated slightly here by Question Reality. They're being put in situations maybe they shouldn't be fighting in there by Question Reality. Batchford being taken down in the basement is going to surrender that lead down to just 3 now, Richie. Make it 4 as Looney takes down 2, actually, before being traded out. And camouflage up in around 20 or so seconds. Right now, Mockit have control of the pink tower. We'll have to see if Question Reality can make some moves over there and maybe take the tower back. But Catchy going down first is not going to help them out whatsoever.
It seemed for a moment as though Question Reality were just inviting them in and into a false sense of security, as a few members went in and they paid the price with their lives. As Precision Knight sits on P3, we've seen this game in, game out from him, but he is taken down. That's a lovely couple of kills. Let's make that 3 kills on the side of Question Reality, and they've traded that out for 1. So if you can get 3 kills for the price of 1, you'll take that all day long. So 19 kills to 4. Currently the score, they're down by 5 as Question Reality, and still have a little bit to do here. And we see Beatley heading into top blue now, trying to identify anybody he can put his hands on at this moment in time, trying to put some shots down, get some lovely shots. Batchford takes him down to 2 shots, it would seem. Well, now clean up that kill onto Batchford, takes down the shields, but is taken down then by Looney Dogs. And now looks like there's going to be a little bit of a fight here towards P1. Looney up against Crossman. Who's going to come out on top? It is Crossman, and you need all those individual gunfights to go your way if you are on the side of Question Reality. But now again, Precision Knight answers back with a kill of his own and restores that lead to 4, and make that 1 as 3 members of Mockit go down. That's great work out of Question Reality, and just what they need on Game 2 Slayer.
Good game sense here from Catchy, sitting top middle after they've just slayed most of the Mockit roster. He knows they're going to be spawning in the bubbles, but a bit of a split spawn there actually caught Catchy off guard, and it's going to reinstate the lead to 2 now in favour of Mockit. And yeah, it's a tricky situation. They've done so well, Question Reality, to get back into this game, but you have to say that they're trying to take individual fights way too often. It's not going to get the job done at the business end of this tournament, and against a team like Mockit as well, where you are trying to take 1 versus 1 fights, especially against the likes of Batchford and Precision Knight, who have demonstrated in the past they have the individual talent to fight with the best. It's always going to be a tricky situation. Camouflage coming up here very, very shortly. The first kill in their team fight going to Question Reality might just help them grab that. And I believe it was Lundy who grabbed the last camouflage, so they should know the exact timing on it too. But you can see the movements here on the map from Mockit. They know the camouflage is coming up. They don't want to surrender it for free. Double from Crossman. That was nice. Lundy has camouflage again. Will he get away for free? No, he won't. Gets a kill before he's taken down.
Well, camouflage could have really helped their cause. They're down by a few kills, and they were clawing it back, but they never seem to be able to get back on terms and really start to push the pace onto Mockit themselves. Every time Mockit come back off the respawn, they seem to have the answers to the questions being posed to them by Team Question. And there you go again. The lead is now up to 4. Make that 5 now as Precision Knight takes down Beatley with his fists. He's been doing some mixed martial arts, so he has, and at the moment now down by 5, and it's still a lot of work to be done for Question Reality. They need to slow down the bleeding here. They're giving out kills there. You see Catchy pushing out, maybe more in anger than anything else, and losing his head just now towards the latter stages of this game. That's not when you want to do it, Harry.
Yeah, a bit of a lack of discipline really being shown by Question Reality. A couple of players, Crossman and Catchy, trying to take 1 versus 1 fights again, which is just not the recipe for success at this stage of the map. 4-point lead for Mockit. You can't afford to trade in team fights like we just saw Precisionite here at the top of the base. Is taken down by a nice shot from Catchy at top middle, and it's a ballsy play to sit at the top of the map at this scoreline. But look at this, he's been rewarded 42 to 44. Crossman needs to help his spawners out at the carbine side, but we can see again trades going in Mockit's favor. 2-point lead still, but the more you trade, the more Mockit edge closer to that 50 mark. Only 4 points to go.
The issue I'm having is that every time they seem to get a couple of members down on Mockit, they're not prepared to push over and really push the pace. The problem is they stand back and allow Mockit to spawn back up again almost too comfortably. You want to be putting shots in these spawners immediately. Find those other 2 members. They're down. They only need 1 kill to Mockit now. Is it going to be squashy? No, it's not, as he's taken down 49 to 45 at the moment. We're on board with Lundy. Can he get a kill, or will the kill fall elsewhere? Looney gets a kill elsewhere towards the car side. They will lose that Slayer by 4 kills, but they showed great signs of life and some good action there.
Mockit 2-0 up. Really nice performance from them so far in this series. We'll take a look at the stats. Looney, 23 kills and 11 deaths. Really nice work out of him. Just, again, finding those individual fights that Question Reality were giving them and really being the benefactor of some early camouflage grabs as well. Taking a look at the damage, he led the game. No one on his team really close. The next nearest Precisionite at the bottom of the board with just his 7 kills, but 13 assists to boot as well. Nice all-round performance from Mockit. They'll take that, with both hands. But when Question Reality watch it back, they might just rue some of those pushes they were making individually and say, if we have some of those deaths back and we don't try and take those 1v1 fights, that game is suddenly 46-46 instead of being, 50 to 46. You have a couple of more points to play with there in terms of breathing room towards the end of the game. If you don't take those, early individual fights, it can work if you win the fights, but obviously if you're losing them, it's a double-edged sword. So tricky game there to lose for Question Reality. But hey, you move on now. You got to push it aside and try and make the reverse sweep happen.
Yeah, I feel like we need to touch upon as well Catchy. We've seen him every time we sort of seen him soaring out P side and taking on way too many engagements. And like Wonderboy touched upon, those 1v1s, and he's actually gone 8 and 15. And in a Slayer, that is not what you want to be doing. You're really crutching your teammates. They need to try and carry you through that. And they only lost by 4 kills. So if Catchy can even bring that down to 8 and 11, that makes such a massive difference. Even though you're going negative, but the fact that you're maybe frustrated, you're not getting the help from your teammates that you feel like you deserve. You're pushing out. You're trying to, and because you're losing so many deaths, you're then trying to play catch up. You're trying to extend yourself even more to try and get those kills back, but you can't. Every single time you do, you get taken down. And I think Catchy was a victim of that big time there. But we head over towards Oddball on Fister now. Is this going to be a 3-0? I think we've seen enough from Question Reality that they can definitely scramble, and Oddball is definitely one of those game types, Harry.
It is. They beat Receding in the round previous, not on this map, on Echelon instead of Fisher, but we'll see if their gameplay on Oddball translates over. It's a really strange map. Some of these Forge maps coming in the end of Halo 5, I'm still not sure some of the top teams in the world were really confident in terms of how to play these. So this could be the perfect game type. Question Reality kind of want to land here in this game 3. You win this, all of a sudden you're within touching distance of Mockit in the series early. Overshield grab is going to be huge. Crossman forgets to hold his action, but no, and luckily he has a teammate, that's Beatley, to grab that. But Crossman, you got to hold B, buddy. If you're on bumper jumping, you got to make sure you slam that in your chest. Otherwise you're just going to fly past it and look a little bit silly.
Was his idea there to push past and immediately take the engagement onto that player and allow the teammate behind him maybe to get that overshield? Was that the line of thinking, or do you think he pushed in too far? Because he meleeed as well, and I don't know if it connected. I don't know what the case was there, but it seemed as though he overextended for a moment. I don't know if that was planned or whether that was in fact a misplay. It mattered not at the moment, as they did get the overshield, but unable to really translate the overshield into any significant time on the ball here, Wonderboy.
Yeah, maybe just caught in two minds. Either way, we're going to push past it. Precisionite here with the tactical Magnum has a little bit of an extended range in terms of the scope on that weapon, and Mockit are scoring across the map. 11 points and climbing. And the first kill in the team fight as well means they are basically going to be even Stevens with Question Reality as they push forward here. A nice break though on the mostly Swedish roster. I believe they're all Swedish actually, thinking about it. I'll have to get confirmation on that, but they're certainly Scandinavians. They are down in this series 2-0, so a big win here in game 3 as Beatley scoops the ball and gets across the map. That's going to allow them to grab some more points as Bashford chases and takes him down somehow. Oh, if Beatley gets that kill, he gets more time, and maybe we see the lead in Question Reality's favour. Instead, Mockit now have the ball and control.
It looked as though Precision Knight during that whole engagement was trying to play that lurker role where you sit behind your teammates, really bait out the ball guy and put some shots into players' backs as they extend to try and take the player down. So I do like that play style where you use the ball carrier, you put some shots down, and then you can then relay that information as to where those players are coming from. You've already made them weak, they can then take them down. So I like that play style from Precision Knight, who Squashy now gets a 5. We're going to see Overshield very soon. Squashy's already sitting on that buzzer, waiting to pop it into his chest. There doesn't seem to be any signs of any Question Reality player, and that's a free Overshield, Harry. That can't happen.
That is a very, very interesting play from Question Reality, knowing the Overshield's coming up, going for the ball carrier instead. For me, I go for the Overshield. Yeah, you maybe sacrifice a few more points, but if you win the Overshield fight, you can then take the Overshield over to the ball and just grab the ball away or force a play. Instead, Squashy gets the really nice individual 5 onto his opponent, grabs the Overshield, grabs the ball, grabs the nade shot, grabs the killing spree, and Mockit are grabbing this series by the scruff of the neck. 46-17. They are getting some points now. Question Reality, but unfortunately, it looks like Mockit are, as I said at the top of the series, they're looking towards the latter stages of this tournament with Precision Knight now, after last week as well, really fitting in on this roster. They want to try and challenge for the title here in the Pro Series, and if they can get an Open Cup win before you go into the season finals next week, that would be a huge testament to their ability. And, well, the way they're playing right now, we could potentially see it.
Yeah, of course they did. Every time they seem to match against Cartel, they do seem to fall, which can only just tell you the strength of the Cartel roster. That those French guys don't mess around. But of course, Precision Knight now on the roster an extra week. Surely they're going to be scrimming. They're going to be practicing. They're going to be, and he seems to be fitting on this team like a glove at the moment. As Looney gets taken down in the feed, they're catching out, trying to put some shots into the ball carrier. We will see Overshield come up again in the next 30 or so seconds as well. As Kachi seems to be caught in no man's land, just doesn't know where to go, but now he finally gets himself together. Ball has just reset, it's sitting top middle. No team, both teams at full strength at the moment. There goes Bashford, and that's 2 members down. This should be Overshield, and this should be ball time, Wonderboy.
Yeah, this is huge time to win a team fight there as Overshield coming up. And just looking across our screens, currently doesn't look like anyone's grabbed it just yet. Might have been burned. Looney's moving for it now, and somehow, despite all the work from Question Reality, they still aren't able to scoop up the power up on the map. I mean, it looked for all the world like they were gonna, when getting those 2 kills right as the Overshield was dropping, grab both. But instead, Looney off the respawn just runs into bottom middle, completely unchallenged. And as a result, now Question Reality have more than one thing to think about. Looney with the Overshield, and someone else with the ball on the Mockit side as well. It just hasn't been a very sharp performance, I'm afraid to say, from Question Reality so far. Just a few mistakes. They're clawing themselves back. They're only down by 30. And Mockit are across the map, but they cannot keep making mistakes like that if they want to come back in this game. There's still time for them though.
Yeah, the old issues seem to be coming through. They haven't seemed to be able to deal with them. They're making those individual mistakes on Strongholds. They made the individual mistakes on Slayer as well. And now we've come over to Oddball, and this just seems you cannot really donate the Overshield time in, time out. And again, the camouflage seemed to be the same story over on Strongholds and on Truth as well. As Mockit just doing a much better. I mean, they had no right to get that power up. They were 4 dead for a moment. It should have been all set up. You could have even kept the ball carrier in the round. As Precision Knight falls off the map, falls into the ether, he'll be fading to black, and he'll be back up with us again in a couple of seconds as we're on board with Beatley. But only 10 seconds separate the 2 teams here, or 11 seconds rather, only separate the 2 teams here, Harry. So still a really close contested game here.
Yeah, lead change while you were talking. 11-point lead now going in favour of Question Reality, thanks to some really nice ball rotation. You can see, though, the difference in the way the two teams play, despite, getting some good ball time for Question Reality. Mockit just waited. They waited until they were all on the map instead of pushing one by one, and were able to break the setup early on. Squashy here has just lost his man in the lights. Precision Knight is there to help him out. Off screen, Bashford's just slammed the overshield into his chest, so I think that's 4 for 4 overshields now for Mockit, and that's going to be one where you look back on the tail of the tape of this game. Question Reality can probably pinpoint that as a key indicator as to maybe why they aren't in a bigger lead than they are already in. But for now, they are keeping it scrappy. They have the lead. That's going to escalate as someone else picks up the ball, but Squashy takes down Crossman. And Bashford and Catchy here are going to come to blows in just a moment as Catchy gets the ball off the map. And it's got very scrappy in this last minute or so, Richie, and I wonder if Question Reality have designed it that way to just keep taking fights everywhere and just not allow Mockit to set up on the map.
It has to be said, if you lose 3 out of the 4 overshields, of course that first overshield did head over towards them at the initial engagement. If you lose 3 of the 4 overshields, but you're still in the lead, you're doing something right. So if you just eliminate those small little mistakes, you get those overshields, you can build upon that time that you have, and now, as we see Mockit now tick over towards the lead. But is it a case that Question Reality are doing all they can without the overshield, or is it a case of Mockit maybe not utilising that overshield to the best of their ability?
I mean, both times they've grabbed the last 2 overshields, they've used it to get the ball into a safe area towards teammates, and I'm not against that. As 2 of the Question Reality players go down in quick succession, it's going to allow 10 or so seconds to go in Looney's favour. Sometimes you see teams, just allow the main slayer to grab the overshield and just, set the cat amongst the pigeons, but instead, I'm not against moving the overshield towards the ball carrier as Looney gets a lovely triple, and, well, with only 20 points to go here, Richie, I think we're seeing Mockit close out this game. Nice triple from Looney, and that should spell disaster for the Scandinavians.
Yeah, Question Reality have asked a lot of good questions of Mockit, but Mockit have had the answers time and time again. And Precision Knight, who was the main slayer in this particular game, he had over 21 kills. He was taking up some ball time, but Overshield finally goes over to Question Reality. It is a little too late, as Mockit now only need 5 seconds, and you have to say it's going to have to be perfect Halo here to get all this ball time, Wonderboy.
It is, but at the same time, it's also a very delicate situation for Mockit. They can't afford to, take too much time and dwell on some of their pushes. Looney, so far this series, has played absolutely fantastically. That's 2 kills for him. The new ball will be scooped up. Lundy's the last man on the map. He does take down Precision Knight, but 3 points to go now. Time also ticking against Question Reality. 2 minutes 45 left in the game. At some point, the pressure is going to be on one of these 2 teams, if not both of them. Good control here, though, from the Scandinavians. Is it possible they can come back?
I would love to see it. They need all this time. They cannot afford to make any mistakes now. Overshield will be not a factor, it would seem, for the rest of this game. They're still ticking over points. Some lovely ball rotation every single time the team rotates.
They gotta
ball
go.
Carrier says, see you later. They only need 10 seconds now. Did we count them out when we shouldn't have? As we see this engagement between Looney, he falls. Let's switch over to the ball carrier. He only needs 3 more seconds.
Wow.
I cannot believe it, Wonderboy. He's actually got the time that he needed. They've got 100 to 50 points to 147. And what a little rotation that was from Question Reality.
I said it was a delicate situation. When the time is ticking against you, you got to just hang on to that ball and mock it. They just took too much time allowing the ball carrier to rotate away from them. Absolutely unbelievable comeback there from Question Reality, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
Yep.
Absolutely wonderful rotation at the end. And funnily enough, Richie, they were down 50 or so points until Lundy grabbed the overshield.
Yeah,
imagine if they had other overshields in the game. They probably would have had a bit more success. Absolutely wonderful game, and we now have a series on our hands because Mockit, the post-mortem analysis has to happen now as to what went wrong in that game, and that might just play on their minds going into the rest of this series.
Yeah, you hear us harping on about the overshield time and time again every time we do these cups, and that's why they're so important. the one time that Question Reality were able to get that overshield and really get some use out of it. They were able to rack up some serious time. And it looked as though Mockit had no answers. It seemed towards the latter stages of that game, the last real important gunfight was all top middle, and the ball was over towards Mockit's side. But somehow Question Reality were able to get the slays they needed and travel over towards, get that ball, and just unbelievable, beautiful rotations from Question Reality. It really can't be said. Lundy putting in work with that overshield.
Yeah, we now move on to a game 4, Coliseum Capture the Flag. A couple of players in the lobby just switching colours, maybe just going out for a smoke break, maybe just taking a deep breath. Might be worth noting, Richie, we have giveaways today, don't we? We've got some special giveaways. Shout out to our admin in the Face It tournaments, doing all the regions, I believe. Great Red Shift. He's been a man on a mission throughout the Pro Series, allowing these competitions to happen. He's been a facilitator. He's been barking orders at people. So in honor of him, if you want to win a very special nameplate, all you have to do is type in the chat, Great Red Shift, all one word. Get it in there. I can't remember which nameplate we're giving away today. Can you remember?
I believe you get a choice of the nameplate. You get a choice of the 3, so they're all pretty limited. So you get to pick. So we're even giving you guys the option. We're not saying this is the nameplate you're getting. We're saying you pick the nameplate you want of the 3. So you're spoiled for choice out there. Don't say we don't ever do anything for you.
Yeah, shout out to Grey Redshift, by the way. He's in the chat right now. Literally, best admin we've had in Europe. He actually helped cover me for a few of the Face It tournaments that we did for Halo 3, and while I was busy doing other things and couldn't stay up past a certain amount of time, I've got a bedtime. I'm an old man now. I need my beauty sleep. He would come in and cover the final shifts. So yeah, thanks, Matt. Great guy. Great Red Shift in the chat. You might win a nameplate. We'll do the giveaway at the end of this series. If it ever ends, this could go on forever.
Now it looks as though we're going to take a short break. We'll come back. We'll probably announce the winner. We'll have. Oh, he's back. He's back.
You saying, well,
we're back.
Break.
We're back.
This series is still going, Richie.
I seen two people on yellow team. I thought there were people taking toilet breaks. I thought I had the opportunity to take a toilet break, but no, I'll stay here. I'll hold it like a grown up. Okay.
Yep.
As we jump over towards CTF Coliseum.
We jump over towards Coliseum. Around it.
Yeah. That's what I'll do. Now we jump over towards Coliseum Flag, which I said already I wanted to go to it. It's my favorite game type. It's my favorite map. I finally get spoiled. Question Reality have allowed me to see some competitive Halo over on Coliseum. So it's all about that rockets, all about that sniper rifle. It's all that good stuff. Game 4. Let's see it from Question Reality. They've made a series of it now, Harry.
They have. And if I was, on Question Reality, seeing Mockit on previous weeks, or in previous weeks on this map, they've struggled really getting a hold of the power weapons and then putting them into use, which as anyone who's heard my commentary on Coliseum maps before, it doesn't matter if it's Slayer, doesn't matter if it's Flag, if you get the power weapons and put them into use like this, it makes it very difficult on the enemy team. Lundy going off. Go on, son, get another one. So Question Reality have a real chance here, maybe, as that shot just whooshes past an enemy player to really put Mockit on the back foot in this series, going into a game 5. Looney no shields, doesn't matter, headshot there as well. Precisionite doesn't need a scope to be taken down. Lundy almost on a triple, but wow, Mockit, I don't know what it is about Coliseum. They really struggle with getting rockets, getting the sniper. We'll see if it's a thorn in their side come the end of this game.
Lundy, his tail is up after those shots, no doubt. All the confidence in the world as he was just peeling faces. As we got a back whack from Squashy on the crossman as well, but despite all those kills in their favour, it looks as though Mockit are one putting the pressure on the base here, and we'll see a flag pull as well, Harry.
Yeah, 4 dead there as well for Question Reality, so this one on paper should be a Mockit flag cap. If you Question Reality right here, you just focus on getting your shields back, get the guys out of your base, but Catcher goes down to a 5 from Squashy. That's a killing spree.
1-0.
5 kills in a row, almost takes down Lundy as well. And this is a nightmare situation for Question Reality. You didn't get that many players out of your base. 2 of your own players have gone down, so now you have to worry about the second coming of the push from Mockit. Batchford taken down, but Precisionite is on the prowl here and has help from a teammate on the window as well. That's Squashy. He takes down Beatley. And while all this is happening, Richie, rockets are coming up, and Question Reality are nowhere near those, so a much better time this time around from Mockit, getting control of the map. Off screen, Batchford has the rockets. On screen, Looney's taken down Beatley, and the flag capture and the flag run can start to happen.
Yeah, Mockit have Question Reality exactly where they want them, fighting in their own base as the flag moves across the map. This will surely be cap number 2, which it is. This game is getting away from them very, very quickly. They need to wake up, and wake up now, Wonderboy.
Very impressive, despite the starting strat from Mockit going the other way and Lundy, you know, putting on some heroics. They've survived the initial onslaught and haven't looked back. 2 caps in around, well, under 3 minutes to start this game, and a lot of it's coming from that elbow presence. We're on board with Crossman here, but look at the red outlines across the map, heavily playing on the elbow side. That means they can run the flag either up top, where there's quite a lot of cover and you have to overextend to get shots on the flag runner, or they can take it down low like Batchford is right there. Crossman gets some help from Lundy. Precision Knight taken down. This flag run can still happen, and somehow Crossman's allowed to get his shields. Not sure what's happening here from Mockit. Squashy has the sniper. Batchford has the flag still. So maybe we should swap on to Squashy. The game's pretty much in his hands right here.
Squashy has the sniper rifle in his hand, looking to hunt down that flag carrier as well. Gets the face of Catchy, and will now put some serious pressure onto that flag carrier as Question Reality are all spawning over that side. Batchford gets a kill from his window with the flag. This will be 3-0. Oh, that game went far too quick for my liking, Wonderboy.
Game, set, match. Mockit take the series 3-1, re-establishing the dominance after that frantic game 3. And it was a quick one. We can see from the stats, Lundy, the only man to break double digits in the game other than Looney, who, by the way, had a fantastic series all round, really just proving his individual talent on this Mockit roster. Again, one of those players that probably is benefiting from the arrival of Precisionite. Yeah. 2-11 from Beatley is probably one to forget. They just never got going. Well, that's a lie. They did get going, Richie, but yeah, after the starting strat, after the power weapons, the first phase of power weapons went out the window, they just kind of rolled over and just allowed Mockit into their base. They just did not do a good enough job. Once that flag goes and you're pretty much 4 down, you cannot commit resources across the map or back into your own base and not win the fight and not get the guys out of your base. That's not going to be a recipe for success. They just allowed Mockit to get too much damage down on them without converting their own numbers into kills in their base. So that allowed the double cap to happen, and then from 2-0, you basically say, we're 2-0 down, this game's over, and Mockit just rinsed and repeated their wonderful elbow setup on Coliseum Flag. Looking forward to seeing if they can put that into practice against maybe some of the more well-drilled teams later on in the bracket, like Power, like Cartel, who we very much expect to win here in this Open Cup.
Yeah, from an individual standpoint, I think both these teams are very, very evenly matched. But the difference is, we touched upon it even on Truth, every single time that Question Reality got some sort of control, they stood still almost, and they didn't really press home that advantage. We've seen Lundy going off at the start of the game, finding faces, just backhanding every single member of Mockit. But then what happened? They didn't push forward. They didn't pull a flag. Instead, 30 seconds later, their flag is out, and it's a score for Mockit. So every single time Mockit got control, they turned it into flag caps. But it time and time again for Question Reality, they were unable to do that. And as you see, 3-0, although it looks a huge score, the series really didn't paint the full picture. There was 3-1, but every single game, bar the last one, you have to say Question Reality were definitely in. And I have to say, I'm impressed by Beatley to die 11 times that quickly. So he must have just been running face first.
It's quite impressive, actually. He probably, if you're looking at that, stat line as, take it as it is, you probably say to Beatley next time, right, we say the shackles are off of Batchford. Maybe put the shackles on to Beatley. Maybe stop sprinting out, stop getting taken down off spawn. We know you only got 2 kills, but maybe unbind that sprint button. Something about a giveaway in my ears. I won't lie. I was talking while Spilly was trying to tell me things, so I didn't quite catch it. Someone want a giveaway?
Someone rein Beatley in while I rein Wonderboy in as we do the giveaway. Did we do a roll whilst we were waffling? Did we get a winner on the Great Red Shift giveaway faceplate? all that shenanigans. It doesn't look so. So maybe we'll get Kalen to do a roll if he's around. He loves to tell us to do giveaways and then not roll for 15 minutes. So we end up just sitting here filling you with full of nonsense.
Yeah. So final thoughts before we go. I'll let you throw it to break after my final thoughts, and then you can run to the toilet.
Yes.
Unstrap your adult diaper that you have on. We'll see Question Reality next week, right, in the season finals.
Yeah.
They have some work to do. I know Beatley's in the chat right now saying it was 200 ping. Don't worry, Beatley is fine. They wouldn't beat you on LAN. It's fine.
He had something in his eye.
You were lagging. We saw your controller disconnected. There was someone came in the room. They have to go back to the drawing board. Hopefully, we can see a better showing from them next week in the season finals. But Mockit, they advanced to the semi-finals, Richie, and as I said before, they have their sights on the crown this week, and they have the ability to do so if Looney can keep up his standout performance. For me, the MVP of that series. Hopefully, we can see it for the rest of the tournament as well.
Yeah, it has to be said they're going to make it through to the next stages. We do have now Power, of course, will be up next. We get to have a little glimpse at Power. The issue for Mockit is only Cartel. They seem to be everybody's kryptonite. So we'll see how they get on next time. If they can match up against Cartel again, this time Precision Knight performing out of his skin, maybe they can go that one step further and they can get their hands on the first prize. But we'll take a quick, short break, the shortest break you've ever seen, as I leg it to the bathroom and we get these lobbies sorted. Get yourselves a brew. Come back very shortly. We'll see you soon.
Every time you say that, hurry, they throw things. You need to stop over. Oh no! Plummet's not alone here. Oh no, Plummet!
Desire here needs to watch out.
Oh, big nades. Oh, big nades. There is no